Welcome to episode 13 of Go Low Like a Pro. Now that means we're almost a quarter of the way through the entire challenge already. And coming up straight away in this episode is a 100% guaranteed, easy, quick fix way to make yourself a better golfer. I've come to Kingsfield to meet a man who's going to show me the easiest way that golfers of all abilities can make themselves that much better. I'm talking about looking after the course, replacing divots, repairing pitch marks, raking bunkers, etc. Now in the past year, golf courses have had the longest on-off break from play that they've possibly ever had, allowing greenkeepers to really go out and improve the courses for us. What with us pesky golfers not, hacking them up. So as we're about to leave winter rules behind and as things are starting to open up again down south as well, it seems the perfect time for us to have a look at how we should be looking after the course and how to play our part. I'm about to meet with Kingsfield's head greenkeeper Kevin McConnell, and he's going to show us what we should be doing and how we should be doing it. Third one there.
Yeah, that's clearly somebody's went up to that, and all they've done is they've went in at the back of it and they've forked it up.
Yep.
So that's why you've got this bit of soil.
Mhm.
Because there's going to be no grass on that now.
Yeah, it's just going to be.
All they've done is they've went underneath the pitch mark and they've lifted the soil up to the flat, tapped it down with a putter, and away they've went. And
I've seen lots of people going and twist.
I mean, for me, that isn't doing anything. On our greens, it's just ripping our greens to bits.
Yeah.
I mean,
so very much just.
If you're twisting a pitchmark repair, all you're doing is ripping roots, and that's worse. It's a greenkeeper's nightmare that you go out in the morning and you've got unrepaired ones because you can't repair them all. So to go over it with a machine, that bit of tuff that's sticking that,
just ripped it.
It's just got to become a lot of the bigger ones you see, like stuff like that. That probably was upright, and it's just been cut. It's not even been done right, to be brutally honest. You can see it's quite low as well. Yeah, it's just folk not doing it
right.
But they obviously, for what you're doing, the purpose of the video is to show folk to do it right, because they don't know how to do it. Because you're right. I mean, there's so many folk who tell you a different way to do it.
Yeah.
But my way to do it would be easiest way in from the backy where you've went in, and then it's just as simply stand on it, and that's it. I usually wouldn't stand it. I'd take my putter in my hand, tap it down my putter, but it is as simple as that. Easiest way in from the back, in from both sides of where you first went, to just knit it in, and it's that simple. Unless your divot's in one whole bit and you can put it back perfectly, I would advise that just don't bother. I'll go probably monthly, at the end of every month, and I'll just go with the boys and we'll go out and we'll divot the sand and seed, and you've got more chance of that
taken.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want people to watch this and go, oh, so I should just throw my divots away. So
no. I mean that's, you don't know how old that is, but you can see the roots through that right enough, so it's a pretty good example. There is roots to that, so you lay that back down in place, it should eventually grab a hold.
So this sort of stuff would just bin.
Just go, because it's never going to do anything.
So you're saying if you get a divot that isn't a whole divot,
that's not going to go anywhere. I mean I'd chuck that in the rough.
Okay.
I would chuck that away into the rough as far in as you could get it, because if you leave that line on there, the fairway machine has got to be cutting it. It's at the height of summer probably around about 12 mil. So that is going to go straight through the machine and get churned into about 40 bits, and it's just going to lie in an absolute mess.
Right. Okay.
So that's why you get. That's half the reason the fairways get double cut. Other than aesthetics, they get cut for to tidy them up. Assuming that. That'll be the what's come out of there. Yeah. With the state of that, I wouldn't put that back. It might work. It actually is perfect size, so you would get away with that. And see, in the height of summer, you would get away with that. Put that back, the roots will come back through it will take, providing the birds leave it alone.
Okay.
Do that. If you come out, doing that, that's leveler for us to rake again at the back of you than trying to go across indents that are like that.
Oh yeah, well I mean don't leave it.
Yeah.
Don't do nothing.
That's what you're encouraging folk to do at the moment though. It's
Just don't rake it,
go in, hit your ball
and get out.
and come out, because there's no rake there for them to do anything. Whereas if you just use the base of your foot to level off a fraction, it means when we go in to rake it, it's going to be a wee bit easier.
Well then howking big chunks of stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely learned some new things from Kev, and just to reiterate some old obvious ones, put all rubbish and broken tees in the bin and stick to the pathways on the course. Now it's perfectly possible that you may not be able to find your divot or your pitch mark on the green, and that's fine. But all we're saying is, if you do see one, repair or replace it. We're all in this together after all. Now I'm about to show some images that some viewers may find distressing. These are pictures of the greens at Linlithgow Golf Club after someone vandalised them with weed killer. It's disgusting, it makes us all sad, and Kevin just wanted me to say to Phil Montgomery and anyone watching from Linlithgow that if the guys up at Kingsfield can help in any way, please don't hesitate to ask. They'll do whatever they can. A massive thanks to Kevin for all that help and information. I hope it didn't feel too much like a lecture. And the final word from Kevin to everyone is to enjoy your golf. Come on camera. I've been talking for a week or maybe even two now about working on my mental game, but I haven't really ever expanded on that. Until now it's just meant reading the Bob Rotella book, Your 15th Club. However, I've now finished it, and as Dr. Bob himself says in the book, reading it alone isn't enough. So if you'll allow me to shoddily summarise it, like a 10-year-old writing a book report having only read the blurb on the back, I'll try and cover a few of the key concepts. The 15th club from the title is confidence. Confidence in every aspect of your golf game. So a lot of the things I've taken from the book are all along a similar theme. The first major one being that of self-image, or how my subconscious sees me. Now Dr. Bob suggests that were any of us to describe ourselves as golfers, listing our strengths and weaknesses, our subconscious would tell a very different story, most likely a far more damning one. He believes that our conscious and subconscious aren't on the same page a lot of the time, and that based on our self-image, our subconscious tries to deliver what it believes is our desired outcome. Now what do I mean by that? Well, I'm guessing that a lot of you think you're better golfers than your handicap or scoring suggests. I know I do. That you can play the game well, but that your numbers don't always reflect that. Well, that's your conscious thoughts. And Dr. Bob suggests that your subconscious might disagree with that you don't think you're that good, and that your scoring and your handicap are accurate. And so thinking that that's what you want and how you should score, no matter how you're playing, your subconscious tries to help and make it so. A great example of this was my 3 holes on the show last week. Now you probably don't remember, but I bogeyed the par 3 4th at Kingsfield because I missed the green, chipped and then missed the putt, standard bogey. At the 5th I put one out of bounds, 3 off the tee, then put my approach to 3 or 4 feet and sank the putt for a great result to save bogey. And at the 6th I put my tee shot to about 15 feet or so and 3 putted for a horrific bogey. So was that my subconscious? And if so, how do I fix it? Well, from my understanding of Dr. Bob's book, it's mostly about repetition and positive reinforcement. Our subconscious doesn't question what it's told, it's our conscious mind that does that. So we can tell our subconscious over and over that we are awesome and it will just believe it. Sadly though, not enough of us actually do that often enough. So mental planning, visualising. How many times have you watched a rugby kicker watch the ball go through the posts time after time before he's even stepped up to kick the ball? Writing personal affirmations and reading them again and again and again. And no, listening to Savage Garden on repeat doesn't count. And then when you get on the course, just focus on one thing, your target, where you want the ball to go. Don't be thinking about your swing or your technique, your score, other players' score. Just focus your mind on where you want the ball to go, send it there with your mind and let your body follow. And for anyone who thinks that, this is maybe a wee bit much, let me just ask you this. How many times have you had a shot, let's say a carry over water, and you're thinking to yourself, I mustn't leave it short. I mustn't leave it short and put it in the water. Then splash. Or likewise, the same, but with a bunker. Or I mustn't thin it through the back or hook it out of bounds, and you do just that. Well, Dr. Bob says that your subconscious doesn't understand the word don't. So you've essentially been telling it that that's what you want to do. Now, imagine you'd just been focusing on the positive variations of those outcomes. Hitting the green, finding the fairway. Well, who knows if your ball would have found its target. And the last thing, try and attach no importance to any of it. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Just move on to your next shot and imagine your target, one shot at a time. So easy to say, not so easy to do. So Dr. Bob, if you're watching, I hope I didn't butcher your concepts too much. I very much enjoyed the book and would definitely recommend it. The only thing left now is to implement the concepts and hopefully make it as easy to do as it was to say. In part 2, we'll have some time on the course and our usual roundup, but for now I'm going to do some visualizations and some affirmations, which I can either read or, with today's technology, I can just record and listen to on repeat. So, until next time, be good, and if you can't, shout 4. You're an excellent clutch putter. Nothing phases you. When you stand over the ball, your technique is solid and you will stroke the ball into the hole.
You're a strong, confident woman who doesn't need to smoke.
Special K is your best friend. You want to make him a cheese sandwich every day. Wake up, David. Wake up. It's time to make me a cheese sandwich.